live stream is... Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got with me Jason, Max, and Elijah, and we were having I was having technical difficulties for some reason. The live stream wouldn't go live. It was like weird. Okay, whatever. How's everybody doing, guys? What's everyone been up to? Anything cool? Any new TV shows? Anything?
I went to the Cyberpunk exhibit at the Academy Museum.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. I mean,
Cool.
it was like a really small exhibition.
Right.
I got the book for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got Daryl
That's the
Hannah.
font they chose.
Huh?
The book looks cool.
That's the font they chose for the cover. They could have done a way more cyberpunky font.
Yeah.
You opening this up on live on television here?
Unboxing. Yeah. I just,
Unboxing? Yeah. Nice.
I know. Yeah. That's a good point, Max. Yeah, that is not very cyberpunky, but you know, whatever.
What is that on the front cover? Who is it?
Daryl Hannah from Blade Runner.
Oh, damn. Okay. Interesting.
So another is this guy from? It's Johnny Mnemonic. I don't know this guy's. Is that Johnny Mnemonic? Looks like.
I like the foil. Is that like a foil cover though, or is it just like
I'm not too
reflection?
sure.
Yeah, it's got like it's got that luster. Yeah, it's a
Gold foil.
foil cover thing.
I love
Cool.
a good foil. I have a foil up too. I got this foil, the Green Lantern.
Nice.
Nice. But yeah, dude, such a cool like.
Hey, Malloy. How you doing?
Some pictures. Malloy. Hey, Malloy. I went to that Cyberpunk exhibit, and there's one at this Academy of Motion Pictures museum out here in LA. And it's pretty cool. Small.
Cool.
They had stuff from Videodrome and you guys remember Existence? Did you guys ever watch
Yeah,
Existence?
I didn't know.
No, it sounds like a boner pill though.
It is the name of a boner pill, but it was
Okay.
also a Cronenberg sci-fi movie with Jude Law. And the kind of tech they have in it is kind of organic tech, or it just looks like chicken bones and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. A lot of people don't talk about that one, but that one's a good
Better
one.
or worse than Gattaca?
Oh, Gattaca's one of the best, dude.
I love that movie.
That's
That's
great
cool.
movie.
Did they? What was it? It was just showing cyberpunk within film, or within design, or within
Film.
everything.
Film. It's the
Film.
Academy Museum, so
Of
it's
course,
all
yeah.
film.
It's a cool museum.
Um,
Brent. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you should definitely.
Oh,
check
yeah, no,
it out.
I've
Always
been
some
there.
Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, there's always once in a while something comes along.
They got a 3PO and a
Yeah.
R2 out there, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sets from.
It's for the Dykstra
Runner.
camera thing,
Yeah.
right?
I think so. Yeah, it's next to the big red
automotive museum.
Ferrari. Yeah. Yes. Correct. Yeah.
Car-
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I've been to
That
that.
one seems cool.
Yeah.
And Automotive Museum, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'll have to find out, but I might even know the person who might have been in charge of that part of the setup too.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll have to find out. See if she does. I
Ooh.
can find out.
There was a Godzilla marathon when we went.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
there's a bunch of people there going to watch Godzilla.
Yeah, they had the Dykstra camera there, the Dystraflex camera from Star Wars that was built specifically to correct all the shots, and it was on display about 6 months ago, which was amazing
Yeah.
to see actually move. That thing, like, they had a demonstration of it, and it's like, apparently when they demonstrated it in the testing when they unboxed it and everything, it actually caught on fire. That's
Oh
how
my
old it is.
God.
It's a 50-year-old camera
Yeah.
and design, but it's like, yeah, it was really, fragile. But anyway, but that was cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool, though. That's
It's
awesome.
cool. Got me excited. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some Cyberpunk marathons now.
Cool. Elijah, you ended up by going to a Back to the Future thing last week, right? I didn't get the chance to go, unfortunately. But I was
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, I know. Every time I invite you something, you get sick.
I know.
You can't go to Universal. You can't go to the Back to the Future things. So
This is
I
what
just
it
got to
was.
stop inviting you because when you
No,
invite yourself, you're
I wanted to
fine.
go. I
But
wanted
if
to
I
go. I got
invite
really
you,
sick
you
all
get
week.
sick.
Yeah, I got really sick all last
Mhm.
week. This was the. Tell us about what was going on there.
Yeah, it was fun. They've been doing this for maybe the last 8 years or so. I think they
Right.
first started it in 2015. The year that Back to the Future year,
Yeah.
2015. So it's been a couple of years that they've done it. But the mall, that location has been sold to developing.
Well,
So
the more from the movie of Back to the Future, right?
yeah,
So yeah,
one
yeah.
side of it, one corner of the mall was the shot of them arriving. The whole beginning sequence of from Back to the Future, where he
Twin Pines,
where he
then
finds the
Lone
DeLorean, they do
Pine.
the test.
Uh-huh.
Twin
Right.
Pines Mall, yeah, Lone Pines Mall. So yeah,
Yep.
they do these events on the 25th of every October, and
Cool.
this year is maybe the last year. They depending on what's
They
there
tear
next
down the
year.
mall.
I'd
Yeah.
be surprised if they tear everything down within a year.
Yeah.
That would be surprising. And
Although some of those malls come down pretty quickly though these days.
yeah, but it
Yeah.
just with
Yeah.
If they're
development and stuff like
smart.
that, you just never know. And the
Yeah.
thing was that when I went over there all the outside, all the surrounding businesses in the parking lot. Like there was a Cane's chicken and a Krispy Kreme and all that stuff, and they
Right.
were like really busy. That was like all the surrounding stores were really active and still busy. So who knows what's going to happen to the location?
Cool.
But
It
it
might
was
just be in
very
the Lone Pines Mall.
busy.
Yeah.
It was the busiest year that they've had. So it was like really packed because everything was kind of like in the
Right.
one section. They
At the
they
Back to the
used to
Future
do a whole
events, yeah.
reenactment where they would
Yeah.
right. They used to do a whole reenactment where the car would drive around and the Libyans would chase them and like do like a whole recreation of the scene.
Nice.
But because it was so packed with cars and people, they weren't able to do that.
Right. Oh
But
wow.
there must have
That's
been
a
like
big place though. Yeah.
6 to 7 time machine DeLoreans, probably 8 normal DeLoreans.
Nice.
There was actually quite a few of the black pickup truck, the Toyota pickup truck. There's probably like 8 of those.
Oh
It
really?
was like kind of surprising. I was like,
Not even
wow,
flies.
4x4s. Like, look at that 4x4.
Does
So
anyone
it
have
was
like
kinda
the Libyans car? Like
Yeah, there
They
was
did.
one.
I see you
Yeah,
the photo.
yeah.
Right.
There was one. There was one of those. And yeah, just lots of people in costume.
Yeah.
Lots of people in costume, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Cool. Nice.
I wish you could have made it because I was there for like maybe 2.5, 3 hours, and it just
Right.
time just flew by. I
Yeah,
got there early
yeah.
at like 9:30, and there was already people
Yeah.
there were already people there.
Right.
So when I first got there, it was nice because I was
Well-
able to get some good photos.
Next
after
year.
that-
I hope.
it's there.
If it's
I won't invite you this time, and I just won't remind you, and
I will-
hopefully that you don't get sick.
Uh-huh.
Because anytime I ask you
Uh-huh.
to do something, you get sick.
Oh, I literally had a bad head cold. I'm still getting over it. Like I'm still.
It
going
was
gun-cat.
annoying because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, Brent, like my other
Yeah.
Back to the Future buddy, like
Yeah.
couldn't go because you have whatever because you're sick. But
Yeah.
it was really fun. It was
next year.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many great
Hopefully
Scots
next
would
year.
you give it?
Uh-huh.
Just kidding.
What did you say?
How many great Scots would you give it?
How many Great Scots? 88 Great Scots.
88. That's cool. All right, Max. What did you get? What did you collect? Which comics? Whereabouts?
Oh,
did you
okay.
be?
So I actually didn't
what's?
I didn't buy much yesterday. I did buy
Uh-huh.
this and this. I just bought 2 books. Some cool variants.
Okay.
The new Iron Man #1 and the new Green Lantern Dark #1.
Uh-huh.
I got
Bring out
8.
you got 40 books signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically just a long day of 8 hours of just 60 different creators coming in and signing stuff. And they had some big names come through, like Brian Michael Bendis, who did basically everything in the Marvels in the 2000s. I brought my 1 in 300 X-Men, All New X-Men 27, and his Uncanny #1.
Nice.
This is the 1 in 100 for that, so I had to bring some big books out for that. I got some other books signed by him too. But one of those is being sent off to CGC and Ultimate
Cool.
Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles.
Right.
Jeff Johns was there. Got some cool Jeff Johns books signed. Some
Now,
Flash
where
stuff.
was there again? Remind us where was there?
Oh, this was I didn't even say. This was Revenge of Comics in Eagle Rock.
Okay.
It was Patton Oswalt's event.
Oh, okay. Your arch nemesis.
He was cool to me this year. I didn't even really talk to him. I didn't go
you
to
didn't?
his
Okay.
booth or anything like that. But he walked by me and he was
Uh-huh.
like, he said, "Thanks for coming randomly to me. I don't know if you recognize me or whatever, but I'll say beef paused."
That's cool. That's cool. Any
Good
other
time,
things? Yeah. Catch any
yeah.
other? Yep.
There's so much that went down yesterday.
Uh-huh.
We cracked my 9.8 CGC Ultimate Fallout 4 on the sidewalk.
What? You cracked
No,
it?
we did it we opened it like
Okay.
with a screwdriver. It was me and this dude I've seen before, a bunch of other stuff. It was like, I can crack it. And we went inside and got the tools, and he just did it so carefully on on top of like a stack of binders that he had, and just carefully cracked it all along the edges.
Just so you could open it and read it?
Then you had to crack. Then you had to cut the inner well of it, which is like
That's funny.
less than an inch of stuff to cut through, like between that and the comic.
Yeah. Yes, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
How do you open those officially?
They don't want you to. That's.
So that's why, you had to. Oh my god, dude.
Well, here's the thing. They advertise it as a CGC event, which I assume meant they'd have a proper person to open it and a proper way of sending it out.
Right.
But what they really meant is if you have a book, they'll send it into CGC for you, unwitnessed. So it has to be go through the JSA signature authenticity channel.
Right.
And then so.
All right. Your beef with Patton.
He was like randomly rude to me at a signing event where he just made it. So he was giving out free posters of his for his book, and he had 3 creators with him, and the first 2 creators signed it, and then and then he was supposed to sign it, but he was on his phone, and it went on for like legit 5 minutes. Which sounds short, but it's an uncomfortably amount. Like that's an uncomfortably long time to stand in front of someone just to be handed a signed thing and just walk away.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it just became a running joke. It's super rude, but like super uncomfortable. And like Brandon was there and watched the whole thing go down. I walked away and he goes, "Yo, that was super weird." Like it was like noticeably awkward for because these other creators too. We're nudging him, trying to get him to just look up and sign it, or to look up and acknowledge
send
me.
him an invoice.
I tried once to break the tension. I was like, "Hey, I said I loved your new comedy special," because it was like a week after his special dropped.
Right.
And he didn't even look up, and it was just super uncomfortable.
Wow. Wow.
And that's why he's the nemesis.
That's why he's the nemesis. Yeah. Once in a while.
Very short. He had a very short line this year. I'll say that. Out of all the lines, his was consistently one of the shortest.
Max's plans coming into fruition.
Had a reputation.
They're ruined.
We also
because of that.
Some dude showed up with an armful of Ratatouille Funko Pops, and he refused the guy signatures because the guy loudly said to him, "Comics aren't worth as much," because he was doing this event to sell his comics and stuff like that. And it's free signatures and everything.
That's
just bring
fair
the
enough.
books and whatever. I know. It was one thing I was like, hell yeah. Turn down these scalpers.
No, yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Well, we'll talk about a few things in a few minutes. I was going to show you something that is coming out. So Hot Toys released an image or set of images last week for something in the Clone Wars era of Savage Press.
Savage Press.
Yeah. This is like a 12-inch figure coming out, and I am like mad freaking awesomely. I love this character so much in the animated Clone Wars. Oops, wrong one. But yeah, so ultimately it's like, I put it on pre-order. I've got a year and a month to pay it off, basically.
I remember when I first saw Savage, I turned to my brother and I said, "I think this confirms the existence somewhere there's a blue mall running around."
Probably. Either way, it was fun. So yeah, I'll go through a little bit of news and stuff. Little few drops have happened. We haven't been on for a couple of weeks, so I'll drop that and we'll talk about our main events kind of stuff. They're talking about a sequel for Alien Romulus coming out, reportedly in development. This time, same creators, all that sort of stuff apparently, which would be kind of cool. I don't have it here, but they actually also announced that they're going to be dropping a new Predator movie November of next year.
Cool.
Which was about a year away, and this time it's based off of the same people who did Prey, but it will be going to the big screen, is what they were saying on that one. And I kind of, all the way back for the franchise, I always loved Alien and Predator kind of stuff, but they really lost their way for a while.
I did like the Predator movie in the early 2000s with Adrian Brody.
Predator.
Yeah, it was okay. It was
Wasn't-
good.
it wasn't that bad.
It was one of the better ones, but I mean,
It was fun for what
yeah.
it was. I liked
Yeah.
seeing it in theaters.
Yeah, but then they went on and it lost its way. I'm hoping that with the success of Prey and the success of Alien Romulus, that they'll kind of get those films back on track. And there's a lot of people that kind of say it's kind of a cheap out. It's copying the same formula as the originals. But the thing is, that's what made those films work so well and so memorable. Was the formula was a very basic situation. It was man against monster, and and simple as that. And they didn't overcomplicate things. They didn't try to backstory too much. They just made it simple and plain. Yeah.
We'll always
Jason.
have the originals, so we
Oh,
don't need anything after those. You know what I mean?
We don't, but
I'm getting to the point
Yeah.
where
yeah.
nothing has surpassed the originals. It's just trying so hard. I don't know. I'm kind of over the whole coming back to something again.
But
Because
have you had the?
ever matched back up to
Right.
any of those? I haven't watched Romulus yet, which
You
I'm
haven't watched
going
it yet.
to,
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
but still, like any other franchise that they're just kind of revisiting,
Right.
always
But
just
this-
attempts. They're never clearing the mark.
they're never clearing the mark. See,
When
the
have
thing is
they
that I
ever
felt
cleared the mark.
they haven't cleared them up because it was such a you talk about 40 years of storytelling on a story like that, but in something like Alien Romulus, I felt the same feelings I felt when I did
I
watch
think it's
Alien
possible.
or Aliens. I think they didn't adapt too much beyond it, and I feel like it was just a nice, and it wasn't a remake. It was just simply a really well fun told horror piece of work, and I feel like we do need that once in a while, just updated with the makeup and the technologies and stuff. And it's nice to see some of that updated and not overemphasized. And this film was not that, and neither was Prey, in my opinion. I thought Prey was well done as
I think they
well.
were both like celebrations of the material rather than
Yeah. It's the
maybe
best
too
way to
much
put it.
expression on it, which made it work really well. It didn't try to overstate the lore of
Yes.
the material or try
Yeah.
to retcon everything and do their own thing.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a reboot. It just felt like an extension of the original in the terms of it kept the idea and the tone of it, but pushed it to new extremes.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the best thing to do with these legacy IPs, is to not try and retcon and do your own spin on it and make it your own in terms of ways that destroyed the original ideas, but to rather take what worked in the ideas and push them past limits that they could have done 30, 40, 50 years ago with some of these IPs.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Tron Legacy. It's like the only
I
one.
was thinking with Godzilla's, like all these Godzilla movies,
Sure.
like the American movies suck because they're trying to like
Oh, yeah.
Marvelize Godzilla.
Oh,
And
totally.
then like Godzilla Minus Zero, and they just delivered the peak Godzilla movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Totally agree. Other films coming out later this month is getting some first reaction early screenings, and people are saying that it's a total spectacle. People are enjoying Gladiator
Has
2.
anyone bet on the Rotten Tomatoes score? There's a website where you can bet on the Rotten Tomatoes
Oh,
score of that
really?
movie, and I have $20 riding on over 80%.
No, I think actually, I
Just
think
all
that,
types of betting stuff.
Really?
You bet on
That's funny.
anything these days.
You bet on the presidency. I almost put money on it.
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah.
have bad
Yeah.
luck, so I didn't want to do it.
yeah. Either way, I'm kind of like, I wasn't excited to see this film before, and then the new trailers, I'm like, yeah, I actually might go see it later this
Then you
month.
saw
I'm
the
not-
rhino. What does he fight? Is it a
No,
rhino?
it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was just like, it kind
The
of,
sharks.
Brent saw the soundtrack. That's what
No. It's that's not a score. It's yeah, no. The soundtrack is very different than the Hans Zimmer score. Apparently,
Was
in
it
the first one.
Denzel?
No,
remember there's like all these hip hop artists.
They've got hip hop artists in this film, and that's why I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work exactly. But I mean,
Very
they
unreleased
watched
Scott.
they watched The Knight's Tale, and they're like, "Oh, let's do that." Hip hop.
I'm curious whether this is going to be a film that is going to cater for a more modern audience of the same genre from a 20-year-old movie, or whether or not this feels like just a legitimate good sequel to.
I think it's going to cater to the modern audience only because his last few movies haven't, and he's been very much of a make his own movie kind of guy. But with Gladiator 2, it feels more like an IP at this point, and I think it's going to be modernized to an extent, unlike something like The Last Duel, which was very much a make my movie my way type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Sorry, Jason, you were about to say?
I forgot.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts on Gladiator there, Elijah?
Not really.
Really?
I was never a big fan of the first one.
Really?
So I don't know.
Right.
I just got.
Was that just because of story,
not
or
He's not Gordon Sanders fan.
Fair enough.
It's also long. It's a long
I don't
movie.
know.
It's a great movie. It's one of the best movies ever. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it's bad.
It's one of the best movies. It's top 5 in my opinion. One of the best movies.
Gladiator, the first one.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I love that fucking movie.
Cool.
That made me.
I just never got.
I went to Rome because of that movie, dude.
Fair enough.
You haven't seen the New Mutants movie.
What?
Huh?
Then we put it in his top 5 because he hasn't seen the New Mutants movie.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that.
Sorry, Elijah, you were about to say?
That's all right. Never mind.
Okay, all right. Okay. So also another interesting thing I'm kind of curious about. Ronald D. Moore, who is like the showrunner of Battlestar Galactica and Outlander, which I love both of those series. BSG is my favorite show of all time, TV series of all time, at least. Is tapped to be producing the Gods of War adaptation into a TV series based off of the game. God of War, sorry. And, of course, the composer of that is Ben McCreary, and he's worked with Ronald D. Moore also on everything else. So I'm curious to see what they do with this game as an adaptation. And, Max, you were talking about it at one point. You were saying that you think that it was going to be...
It's a hard adaptation. I mean, so there's basically 2 different versions of this game. There's 5 games in total. The first 3 are basically kind of a beat-em-up action game with a pretty basic story about a guy who was betrayed by who felt betrayed by the gods who just wanted to kill all of them.
Right.
And it's mostly just a revenge story. But then the second 2 kind of flip that idea on its head, and it's what if this unstoppable godly killing machine who's killed so many gods he's had to change realms and make peace, and what if he has to raise a son and he's put under these duress circumstances where all of his actions kind of come back and bite him in the ass. And it was told through a very long-winded on purpose. Like it wanted you to feel all the tension in every moment.
Right.
And like a 40-hour story. And it was all those games were all told through a single shot. They all did this kind of like, because it's all computer graphics, so they can do it. All one interwoven shot.
Yeah.
And it really gave this narrative a very specific feel. And I think a TV show, you have to keep cutting away and keep having to do these big lore dumps to explain things. I think it's such an uphill battle on top of all the big CGI work.
Really? See, I think if anybody could take a show or a game like that and make it a show, that would be Ronald D. Moore. He's an amazing writer. I mean, all the way back from Next Generation.
Such a big game. It's so vast, and the emotions range from it's very slowly goes from a very stoic game to a very heartfelt game to a point where at the end you're just crying tears as they finish their journey together, and you're like, no, why does this have to end? And
Jason, you excited for something like this?
Yeah, I based my look on Kratos, dude.
Yeah? Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I had a son because he had a son in that new version. I'm down to see like John
Yeah.
Wick kill gods.
Sure.
John Wick meets Attack of the Titans.
Uh-huh.
It's not really John Wick at all.
I could see. I think
Uh-huh.
it's possible. I think they could do it.
Elijah, any thoughts?
Nope. Because I never watched it. So
Well, wait, it's a game, but
It's-
yeah, I
it
never
really
played
comes
it,
down-
but yeah. Yep.
for me, some of that stuff really comes down to just the sword and sorceries bug. Like, I don't know.
This is just not your thing, yeah. That's fair enough.
It's sword and
That
sandals
kind of
as
thing
well,
just
dude.
doesn't. Sandals and blades and
Uh-huh.
knights and stuff like that and line. I don't know. It just
Okay.
Not your
doesn't.
genre.
It
Fair enough.
doesn't grab me. You know,
That's fair
like
enough.
you
That's
got
fair
your
enough.
things that don't grab you. It's just like
Sure.
it just doesn't. It's just
Yeah.
not my thing for some reason.
That's cool. That's fair enough.
You
That's
know,
fair
it's
enough.
like very. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a certain thing that I'm just don't
Yeah.
get into.
Right. Well, something you did kind of enjoy, I remember, was Fallout Season 2 begins shooting in November, this month, actually. Which,
Yeah, that's cool.
which would be fun. I mean, I enjoyed it.
That
I think we all enjoyed Season 1, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
let's hope
It
the
was fun.
second season is just as good.
Yeah, I hope so. I think they will put effort into the writing there and stuff. They dropped a few photographs of Spider-Man Noir, which is shooting in Warner Brothers, I guess, at this point in time. And
Yeah, how we feel about
It's-
this, guys?
this is
You good about this at all? Or
That
This
doesn't
is-
look
I
like
don't mind
Warner
it.
Brothers. It looks like it's
Nicolas
England
Cage.
somewhere.
yeah,
is it
Nicolas
Warner
Cage.
Brothers or what?
No,
I
they're
believe it's-
shooting
It doesn't look
LA.
like Warner Brothers.
a pretty. I'm
In
sure I
LA?
read Warner Brothers. I'm sure I read Warner Brothers was where they're shooting. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they're shooting it. I know they're shooting it in LA.
I think it might be
Oh,
Universal
no, they-
shooting that.
Could be Universal. My bad. A friend of mine was on set, so so it is shooting.
Yeah, I know
somewhere
some
here in
people have
LA.
been on that set. And I think it's in LA
Yeah,
or California in general, but
Bring
yeah.
movies back to LA.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, you-
How does this work? I mean, Sony owned Spider-Man, so who is Spider-Man Noir owned by? Is it still Spider-Man,
Sony.
or is it?
It's
still
Sony.
It is Sony.
Sony.
Right, so.
It's gonna be an
They just use
Amazon
those
original
lots.
show.
Just like they rent
Oh,
them.
that's it. Amazon. Yeah, that's it.
Amazon original.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Amazon and Sony have a partnership.
Right.
Sony has too many partnerships. They partner with too many different streaming
Mhm.
services, and I guess for a lot of their Spider-Man stuff, they kept going to Amazon a while back, and they hammered
Yeah.
deals with like this, a Spider-Woman show that never went through, and the Silk
Yeah.
show that
Mhm.
got abandoned.
And now they're kind of semi-announced. Spider-Man 4 will swing back into theaters July 2024. Oh, sorry, July 24th, 2026. My bad. The director, Destin Daniel Creighton, will direct
He directed Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Okay, all right. So
Nice.
a decent director. So that I'm
There's
hoping
rumors that
that
they're going to be
they do a good script.
the new saga is going to be another trilogy.
Yeah,
I know
makes
that
sense.
last was the home trilogy. This is going to be the day trilogy, like one
Yeah.
one more day and stuff
Okay.
like that is going to be
Right.
the titles.
Yeah. Well, something is still doing pretty well in the box office by Sony is, surprisingly, Venom: The Last Dance. It's
So
surpassed,
bad.
It's past 317 million worldwide.
I was so
Which-
mad I saw it.
Surprised me, but it's still, yeah. I never saw it. How bad was it, Max?
It's like bashing your head into a wall bad. Like, so here's the worst thing that any superhero movie keeps doing. It's like,
Right.
hey, there's this third movie. We want it to be a big celebration of the character. What
Mm-hmm.
if we made it so the character can't use his superpowers for like most of the movie? So
Right.
it does that for like the whole movie of like
Iron Man
oh no,
themed
Venom.
it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Iron
2
Man
bit.
3.
I'm like, oh no, Venom, you can't transform. Like,
Uh-huh.
they also reveal some wild things, like the events of the first three movies happened within the span of a
First
year.
The first two movies,
first-
you meant?
No, all three movies happened within the span of a year.
Oh, including that. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I know, wild.
Okay.
Null is
For what purpose?
actively in the whole movie, but he doesn't ever come to Earth or leave his chair. The whole movie's
Okay.
about him trying to leave his throne because he's trapped there on
Okay.
a Venom world, and spoilers, he doesn't get out, and they're still trying to make another movie where he does.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
It's pretty
enough.
bad.
Okay, well, enough said about that. They announced that Invincible Season 3 will premiere February 6th, and apparently, from what I had read, they're going to be dropping all 8 episodes at once, over the course of
No.
8 weeks. Sorry, eight episodes
my
in a
God,
row.
yeah,
Sorry,
no
8
break.
episodes in a row. Yeah, no break like there was last
He
time.
just gave me a heart
we got-
attack.
Sorry. First, yeah, all at once in the reference of a row of 8 weeks, not over 4 weeks and then wait for 2, 3, 4 months and then another 4 episodes kind of thing. Yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's been fun.
I love Invincible. We're looking at some great stuff coming up in the next season. Depending on how they pace it out, they can get into some very major stuff and start ramping the show up very quickly.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many seasons they really have planned, because they could also
I
do
think-
some side stuff.
I think I saw an interview with Robert Kirkman, and he said they're planning that they would like to do about 7 seasons worth. It just depends on whether they get picked up and continue to do well enough to continue. So he would hope to do about 7 seasons worth if possible. This is season 3, so and everything. I think season 4 was already picked up, if I remember rightly, right? If I read somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I could be wrong on that. A few weeks ago they also dropped a image of Superman and Crypto, which is cool. I know this is a couple of weeks old news, but I'm kind of it's gone quiet again, and I feel like we're going to get a trailer hopefully sometime between now and the end of this year. It'd be nice.
When are we expecting this?
Beginning of December, probably.
Well, Brazil has D23. They've got a D23 coming up, and people are predicting that there's going to be a lot of stuff dropping there, including stuff including Andor and a few other. Like
Well, Superman wouldn't drop a D23.
Oh, sorry, no, it wouldn't, would it? Oh, damn, you're right. Damn. Yeah, sorry, wrong universe. My brain completely switched universes for a second. Oh my goodness. But it would be in probably around the same time, I would imagine. I would like to say end of November, in that case, kind of thing. You're right, but Chad, where was my head on that one? That's funny. There's too many movies coming up by directors who have worked in too many different genre lines.
Yeah.
Also, Woman of Tomorrow starts filming in January in UK, which is kind of cool.
I have heard the script is very, very, very good.
Okay.
I have heard it's gonna be an absolute banger. I just heard great things about this movie so far.
Cool.
Nice, dude.
Nice. The MCU dropped a slate this past week of everything coming out. This is everything for 2025, which is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man with a release date of January 25th. Born Again, Daredevil Born Again, March the 4th. Eyes of Wakanda is August 6th. It's a limited animated series run, I believe. Ironheart, Ironheart, September 3rd. Marvel Zombies, October. And Wonder Man in December. And what they have announced...
The Friendly Neighborhood
also
Spider-Man,
is-
that's an animation, right?
It's an animation,
Friendly
yes,
Neighborhood
correct,
Spider-Man?
yeah. But they have announced also December of this year, 2020, the 22nd of December, is What If Season 3, the final season, which I'd like to react to and do reactions to, because we had some good responses from our last ones. And one of those episodes are going to deal around around Agatha Harkness, which would be kind of cool. And we'll go more into Agatha all along and what we thought of the season finale soon enough. But there are proposed titles of the episodes. I don't know if these are official.
Oh, whoa.
So, what if the other half blipped is one?
Oh, nice.
Which would be kind of a cool
August
concept.
one, yeah.
What if Maria Rambo,
Rambo.
Rambo, was Captain Marvel? What if what if Wanda watched musicals instead of sitcoms? That is probably the one around Wanda, obviously. What if
It's going to be the Joker
Pedro
2.
survived instead of Ultron? What if Pedro survived Ultron instead of Wanda? I guess Pietro. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What if Yoki is it?
Okoye.
Okoye. Oh, Koye. Oh, we got another Koye episode. took the heart, a heart-shaped herb. Okay,
I don't know if I believe these. What if Tiamat destroyed the Earth? Like that. What's not even a what if? It's like a 2-second thing. Boom! It's gone. Everyone's dead. What if?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. What if Kenoshu chose Peter Parker?
Khonshu.
Khonshu. Oh, Khonshu. Oh, Khonshu. Oh, yes.
Oh,
chose
that,
Peter
there's a
Parker.
that. Okay, so that actually episode comes from a comic book cover when they were doing a Moon Knight month for the TV show, and they
Okay.
had all these characters Moon Knightized, and they had this
Right.
Spider Moon Knight. I can't remember the name of it, but
That's
that
cool,
boy,
man.
that the look was super cool, and they ended up
awesome.
putting it into the video game, and I think
Yeah.
they were gonna put it into a comic at one point, but I guess they saved it for this.
And
It
then,
seems like what ifs that are inspired by cool concept art that someone did. Like, oh, dude, this would be
Right.
sick.
That's how Gwenpool happened. She was
I
just
know, it
a
was fun. Hey,
variant
sucked.
cover for Deadpool stuff.
Yeah. And then what if Natasha
I
Romanoff
hope
survived
that happens
Vormir? So yeah, that's the proposed titles of what people have been finding out, and that comes out in like 2 months, less than 2 months time now. So it's kind of crazy.
Nice.
But I look forward to reacting to those, which would be kind of fun.
I feel like those ifs get a lot of rewatches from the kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So guys, talk about the Penguin for a little bit. Sorry, I know Elijah, you haven't been really kind of watching any of this stuff, but Penguin.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
in
gonna,
episode-
I'm gonna step aside for a second because I do want to start watching it. So I'm gonna do
Okay.
something for a moment.
Yeah,
Alright,
we
okay,
got a few
alright.
weeks left
Okay.
to finish it, so it's a good time.
Yeah. We're what, episode 7 tonight? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked. God, I love
So-
this show.
Yeah.
Show's awesome.
Last week's was crazy. I mean, they really played up with what's the name?
When they ended with the crowbar,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lost my
Really?
freaking mind.
That's it. Because
That's
sorry,
the
guys, spoilers
classic
for
homage.
Penguin. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, spoiler. I didn't really say
Yeah.
what happened, but I just said
Yeah.
the crowbar. But it's just great homage to Batman's greatest sidekick, who we also
Okay.
met from stealing tires or the hubcaps off of his car. Like, they're
really?
really playing into the idea.
It's crazy how
Dick
much
is going to
crowbar
change
I didn't know that.
his
This is in the Batman mythos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's a
right now
huge
Red Hood
part.
is running around. He's running around using crowbars as a weapon to heal himself from his own trauma, which I guess is just inflicting trauma on more people. I don't know, but it's be pretty traumatic to
funny.
get hit with a crowbar. But they really are playing up how Vic is like Jason Todd in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Do you think someone's gonna do you think one of these two main characters are gonna die this week? Because it's like it feels like she's gonna kill someone.
Not this week. Vic was in a trailer.
Oh.
That looked
I
like
think
the last
Vic's not
episode.
going to die. Like, I feel like he's going to play.
You don't think so? Come on, this is a limited series. It's like
Kid's
No, I
gone.
knew.
the
What?
kid's gonna die. Oh, the kid's gonna
Yeah,
die.
this kid's toast.
Oh yeah. The kid is he's so sympathetic and
chance.
so much of a heart of a kid that you want to root for this poor kid. That you
When he
kind of
started
like, you know
stuttering-
he's gonna die.
Just had his first
Absolutely.
kill. He just.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know.
why it makes it okay to kill him. That's like the writer's way of being like, well, it's
Oh,
okay.
is that
I
his?
probably would have done.
dead name?
I feel like the mum is the perfect
Yeah.
applicant because that's gonna push Penguin
Yeah,
off
I
the
mean,
edge.
this week, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that completely.
I think Vic's gonna get caught in some crossfire. That's what's gonna make the Penguin go really dark.
Oh, I thought
Oh, you
I
think so?
assumed that Vic's going to be the downfall of Penguin or something like that. You know, like.
I think it'll be downfall. You mean he's gonna?
I don't
that's
think
where
it'll
he's
be a
gonna-
downfall.
yeah.
I don't think they would give him
Yeah.
this whole show if the ending of it was going to be his downfall, which is why I don't think the
Yeah.
Batman's going to show up because it wouldn't make much sense for them to spend this much money on a show of him
Yeah.
losing.
Without him being in the next movie. And
Yeah, I think it's
Major
more.
Fall.
This is more going to be build up for the next movie.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, really, really cool episode last week. It was a good, it was a tense moment at the end, and it was just like,
Yeah, that was good. That was
Yeah.
good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
It threatened that council man. He's like,
Well, then they're all
I need the
crapping
lights back on in the
No, totally.
in Crown Heights or what's it called?
Yeah, in
That district called?
the,
Called it Crown Heights, like the real.
I
district.
know that's it's a real place. So,
Crown Point.
Crump.
yeah.
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 I need to turn the lights back on in the zoo.
Yeah.
Come
No,
on.
that
It's so
that was
funny.
yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Whenever we watch that show, I'm always talking like a mobster for like the next day.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how this show ends and what it's leading into the movie. Obviously, I mean, I feel like we're watching the second movie, to be honest. In
I
a
think the
trilogy
second
movie.
movie is going to have a big villain, probably someone high profile,
Well, they
like a
introduced the
Mad Hatter,
Joker.
or
Well, they introduced the Joker. In
he didn't
yeah,
introduce him in the first movie. He's
yeah.
going to be in the third movie, no doubt. That's how these superhero directors
But
think of their movies. Is every
yeah,
third movie they have to face their arch
but
nemesis.
but I'm almost classing the Penguin as the second movie because it's so well done and it has that
It
feature
was
film
supposed to be.
quality.
That was the
Yeah,
original idea. Was that
yeah,
the pitch for the Penguin was supposed to
yeah,
be the original second movie,
yeah,
and then his idea was just too big for that. I'm guessing there's
yeah,
going to be another major player that's going to come into Gotham.
yeah.
I'm guessing that it's going to be still heavily featured around the idea of the No Man's Land that he
Right,
set up at the end of the first one that didn't really get featured in the Penguin show that much.
right.
I think it's going
They
to play
are now,
around.
right? They're kind of like in that area.
Oh, yes and no. We actually haven't really explored. Yes, they are in it, but they haven't really explored it that much. They just
Right.
kind of talked about it like there's this big problem. Oh, stuff going down. We gotta get the
We're
lights back
introduced
on.
to
We
it.
gotta,
There's like a context of it. They're within that
Yeah.
context of the No Man's Land right now, and it's
Yeah.
where like layer
Yeah.
takes place and stuff. So it's playing a
Yeah.
huge part in the Penguin of just like the
But we're
result of
seeing-
like the crooked council members and
Mhm.
stuff like that, which is great.
What's funny about No Man's Land though is that it was all about like the villains taking over all of Gotham because there was no one left to stop them after the military turned off any aid to Gotham, so they could all just go crazy.
So Dark Knight
Yeah.
Rises kind of was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So people already had that form of context for that, but right now we're seeing the rise of Penguin at the
Yeah.
start of the No Man's Land, and I think the Batman 2 is going to be the idea of the government is just completely. I think they've already abandoned it from what we've seen in
Right.
the Penguin, but I think it's going to be the idea of it reached the boiling point, and Batman has to start really cleaning some streets up as fast as he can.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
This is kind of cool seeing Batman deal with the No Man's Land, but No Man's Land is
Yeah.
being featured big time in the show.
Yeah.
It's for sure.
Yeah.
That's what they kind of had to run to get
What
away.
do we think about the deal?
Or
between,
Hush. Hush is a good villain
Yeah.
for part 2. They really set that up in the first one.
What do we think is going to happen with the deal between Sal and
Oh,
what's her
Sal's dead too. There's no way she doesn't
Yeah.
kill Sal.
You don't think he'll-
once he tries to interject?
You think so? Basically, out with the old regime, and she'll still be around
Yeah,
for
that's
the
been
new
her whole
regime?
thing. That's
Yeah.
been her whole thing. But it
Right.
just mirrors every time Sal talks. Do you hear a little more Mr. Krabs in his voice?
I hear more like Luthor personally, but either way, I love Clancy Brown. I think he's great. He's an awesome actor. But yeah, either way, we'll keep on talking about it. I'm sure for a while while into it. We've got what 2 episodes left, right?
Yep.
So
Rumors of
Yeah.
another series that Matt Reeves wants to do for the Batman.
Yeah, well, there
Is
was
there?
a lot in there was a
Yeah.
lot in development. There was the Arkham show that was supposed to happen that got axed, and then there's talk about other shows. He already said he's talking to HBO about other shows.
Right.
I'm already going to guess that they're going to do one show between each movie.
That's what I'm guessing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that'll depend on how well the second Batman film does, obviously, in the big screen. But
I mean, Penguin's
if it
doing
does-
great.
Oh, Penguin's doing amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of the
so-
highest rating shows on TV.
Yeah, so I
Yeah, do
think
you guys want to
that's
see?
awesome.
Do you guys want to see him continue this universe as a completely grounded Batman universe, or do you want to see them introduce more fantastical elements into this universe, like
No,
a Poison
I-
Ivy or a Solomon
No,
want
Grundy?
the DCU.
I want to. Sorry.
I want the DCU to be that.
Yeah.
I like where this is. I like the direction they're going with this Batman.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him continue that. Like the
Yeah.
DCU, we got that. We could have Clayface in that one. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That'd be
I
great.
got that.
that's
I got
that's
that.
that's it. Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
you
that
can,
seems to be the common sentiment right now.
yeah. I mean, Nolan's Batman, with the exception of the magic, Nolan's Batman was very, unmystical to a certain degree.
Well, it was
of
Batman in a
characters.
grounded universe.
Yes, yeah.
Is Batman Nolan's was Batman in a grounded world, whereas
Yeah.
Matt Reeves' Batman is like the Batman comic that's more grounded.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they're way
Yes,
happier.
yeah.
Yes
Yeah.
and no. Sound like
Yeah.
you're
No. I
yeah.
just said yeah. I was processing
Yeah.
that in my head. I was like, yeah, no, I
Right.
agree with that. But I
But yeah,
also think
they're
the
really
big difference is. Well, no, I was just gonna say Christopher Nolan was a lot less grounded than people remember it was.
I want to see Clayface. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan used Scarecrow with the gas. I
Yeah.
mean, he went full tilt with the League of Shadows. I'm sorry, his world, League of Assassins.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
I think people think of it as a super grounded Batman universe when it really wasn't. It just had a gritty
Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah.
No,
No, I feel like
it's. I think it's pretty grounded compared.
yeah,
to
they could definitely run two Batman-based stories
maybe-
at the same
yeah.
time. I wouldn't
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any
DC
issue with
already
that.
does that enough. They already
Yeah,
run
that's
three
it.
Batman
Exactly.
stories in the
Yeah.
comics, three
Yeah.
different on TV
Yeah.
shows.
Keep the gun universe to be the fantastical and the over the top, and
I want to see Gunn really do a Bat Family. That's what I want to see in live action.
We
Yeah.
know, Max.
Yeah, I could see that happening in the DCU. The DCU
Yeah.
seems really flexible on all like the magic and
Yeah.
fantastic stuff that's happening.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, let them
Yeah,
do it there.
give us several Matt Reeves based movies, and as long
Yeah,
as they
continue
continue
Matt
to be
Reeves.
good, and then show in
Continue-
between. Yeah,
Yeah, continue Matt Reeves the way
Yeah.
he's doing it right now. It's great.
Absolutely.
Like it's so fleshed out with the Penguin, and I just want to see more of
Yeah.
this world. And
yeah. Take whoever the next big villain is and do a TV show based around them, and do the second season of whatever it is to be. It doesn't mean you can't, bring in the Penguin into any part of that. Obviously you can, but
I don't
focus
maybe
on a new
not
character.
Villain. I want a Catwoman show. I want him to do.
Sure. Yeah.
I think like a When in Rome project would be great. I just think
Right.
a Darwin Cook style, kind of like pulpy Catwoman would be really fun.
Do we
What was
think
that?
do we think we're gonna get an introduction before the end of the Penguin of a character that will lead into the next Batman film? Have they said anything?
No.
You just think it'll just
Maybe we'll get like if it's Hush, maybe we'll get a newspaper clipping about like a Thomas Elliot or something like that.
Okay,
But
right.
no reveal an actor.
right? Fair enough. Fair enough. Makes sense. Let's move on, guys. The other show that we've just finished watching has been Agatha All Along.
Oh my God!
this-
This was like another game-changing show that was just upping the bar for all things Marvel.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, this is the one show, and it's interesting. I pulled up a clip here that I saw. Basically, it was essentially guaranteed to be the MCU's least watched show, is what was being said about it, a year ago. And yet, look at this. It's like it ends up, episode 8 hits 4.6 million views in one day, up 10% from episode 7. The show, with minimal budget and minimal visual spectacle, in my opinion, had the ability to produce some really strong character, really strong story, and really great performance.
And it still looks stunning. It looked
yeah.
amazing. It looked
Yeah.
almost better than some of these other shows because it didn't rely on hardcore CGI for all the background effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
he's great casting too.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Perfect. No.
Jason, you couldn't be around, obviously, for the last 2 episodes. Max and I did a reaction to it, so I want to know your reaction. I want to know your thoughts on the last 2 episodes and what you thought about stuff that went on, the events, the costumes, the look, the we're going to talk spoilers by the way for Agatha.
Turns.
The twists, the turns, yeah, and there were some twists.
We can use the same 3D
I'm
printer.
not going to listen to this either because
Are you going to catch it? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
watch
worth
that
watching.
eventually. So I will
All right.
opt out of listening to.
Okay, we'll jump back
Mistake.
in for the jump back in for a Skeleton Crew trailer because we'll go through that at the end. Sorry, Elijah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Wiccan uses the same 3D printer that Wanda uses for his crown.
Yeah.
That's for
But
sure.
did you also see that in the design? There is an incredible piece online, about a 5-minute piece with the costume designer talking about the choices of the costumes for each of the characters. So if you check out things like this of Wiccan's, I'll get that right eventually, thing, you'll see the close-up of
All the runes.
like there's the runes, but you've also got the X in there, like as in the X-Men kind
Oh,
of
nice.
thing.
I think
and
that was
stuff
from
like that.
Wanda. It's the carryover from Wanda's runes because her
Yeah.
dad in the comics
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Magneto. So it looks like.
Wait, go back to that picture. I mean, it's totally
Yeah.
like a. It's totally
Oh,
a. No, back to the floor.
The Thorn, yeah.
Yeah, totally got that MCU look for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It looks
But-
good though. I think it's a good looking.
Oh
suit.
no, I'm not
I mean,
saying it's bad. That's not a bad thing. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying like it's got that kind of look that they all have. What I'd expect from the MCU universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Very
Right.
like comic accurate as well. Like
Yeah.
with the cape and all.
But at the same
Yeah,
time,
great
I mean, they
stuff.
went through. I mean, if you check out this little piece of the costume designer, they're talking about like on the side of his leg pants. You can't see it here. There's all the stars are on the side of it, and it's based off of one of the constellations. Yeah, are based around one of the comic books of a constellation form within the comics and stuff like that, and
Yeah, it's good
all
stuff.
that. Which it's just
I was happy with
really
the-
cool.
The
it's-
final
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, no, totally. And then even Patty LuPone's character, Lila, she's got all these designs of the place where she became where she learnt how to use her powers in the first place, the temple and all that sort of stuff with the old woman, and it's so many cool.
Yeah, so much
cool
thought
things.
put into
Yeah.
this series. It's very
Yeah.
cool. But man, yeah, that
We
was a
had
huge
this Yeah,
reveal with the Wiccan kind of just west viewed all of them.
yeah. But then,
Yeah.
And then like you learn that Agatha has kind of like gaslit the world on thinking that
Yeah.
the witch's road was a real thing.
but
Nuts. Generations of
But all it
gaslighting.
was her kid. Her kid was the one who hummed the song, and that's where
Yeah,
it became.
exactly. But
you
just
know,
like generations of like
yeah.
thinking that's
yeah.
part of like
Yeah,
the witches do. He's like, you gotta take me on the road, and she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll take you on the road.
yeah.
And that's why
Yeah, that
like,
was like-
going back when she
Yeah.
actually they open it up. She's like, what the hell?
yeah,
And then
Yeah.
Wiccan just like, yeah, get in.
yeah. I was completely
Other,
lost.
the other major
Yeah.
twist
I
though
know.
that her son.
Yeah,
Unknowingly making all that himself. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to point that out to Brent. He didn't get it at first.
really?
I was tired when I was watching it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What's going on? I don't get what Wiccan is doing." And
Spell it out for
and
our
yeah,
friend.
yeah. I was a little slow that night, but
Yeah,
it was but when
Oh,
Max explained it to me, it was a really cool concept.
so wait, are their bodies just under the ground?
Ah.
Like underneath
May-
the house?
yeah, technically.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like Jennifer Hill
technically.
she crawled out of the
Yeah.
ground.
Well, that's why they made the memorial plaque on the But then you've also got the other dark element where Wiccan ends up by having to find someone who is going to die and forward his brother Tommy. That again,
Let's go that lake. Where you're-
yeah.
There's just like,
And it was so sad and tragic, and it was the same tragic element I think we felt from his death when
yeah, it's crazy.
whoever
because
he was, yeah,
we got to meet Billy before, you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like- yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm
like they
hoping,
kinda took a little bit of like, some character from him.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hoping Tommy pops up in the
Orientation transferred over to his new life.
yeah. I'm hoping that Tommy becomes the main character in the Vision quest. I'm hoping that's where that somehow connects together. Huh? Well, no, but Vision and Tommy connect somehow in some form. I'm hoping that's where it goes.
I think we're still missing talking about one of the biggest reveals was that Agatha didn't kill her son. The son wasn't killed in any ridiculous ways. He died of natural causes.
Natural. It was a tragic. Yeah,
that did her a favor.
And
Yeah, but it was implied that she like sacrificed him or like selfishly gave him up.
yes, yeah.
That's
And
what we
it
all
wasn't.
thought.
That's what they did so well at leading us or
That's
misleading
what
us
everyone
along the
thought,
way.
and she just kind of went along with it because she knows she did so many bad things. No matter what she said, no one would ever believe her.
And just it is the whole story was just full of tragedies along the way and tragic moments and tragic, it was so well done in that sense and so well thought out and so well written. And
that look that Aubrey Plaza gives as death when she's in the woods is just so sad and somber. and real.
Oh.
It's completely different than the rest of her character, and you see how that like
I was not expecting
destroyed
it.
the relationship.
Yeah.
Like she gave her as much time as she could, but
Yeah.
she has a job
Yeah.
to do.
And
She's
even
got a-
allowing the even kind of sorry.
She got a rapport with her that you see like with Deadpool
Sure.
and Thanos, kind of like in the comics. There's kind of like this relationship with death that they have that they've. I'd like to see with that. So I was hoping to see with like Deadpool when I first heard they were doing a movie. Like
Right.
I ever want to see her in Deadpool and Death
a lot more, but yeah.
But either way, it
This
was
would be the
chance.
well played out.
This would be death. It'd be Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it nice. It's like just go on a walk with her when you leave this realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. But it was well as a show. It was well played out. It left you kind of hanging and wanting more. I think they
really
ended the show beautifully and well done.
Satisfying ending with a huge twist.
Yep, twists.
I'm glad they stuck the ending. I thought this was the best MCU show ending. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier definitely hit a high in the ending, but this was a show that just hit a different level in those last two episodes.
Yeah, yeah. They really had time to think about this and do it right, and I just like the fact that it was small, and I say small in the reference of small on what they did production wise, because it really was reusing the same locations all the time. And the spectacle was not the big fight sequence spectacles that you would expect from the Marvel show.
It was a really contained story.
Yeah,
there really the stakes were relatively low compared to a lot of things. It's not like the world was on.
It was all personal stakes. It wasn't end of the world stakes.
It's personal stakes. The world wasn't going to end. You know?
Totally. Yeah. But it was worth the watch for sure.
Most of the rest of you like, not again.
Yeah. But definitely a solid show. Elijah, we'll finish up here with that. But yeah, you'll enjoy it. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it, Elijah. You back on? Is Elijah back in? Elijah's frozen.
No, he's still there. It's just
I'll just let him know to come back. All right. So
anyway, he'll enjoy it. There's not one sword or sandal.
Yeah.
Well, there's swords.
Yeah.
But no sandals or dragons.
I do think one of the girls wore a slip-toe shoe.
Oh crap! Never mind. There's a sword and a sandal.
Sword and a sandal. All right. So we'll move on from there. Let's do a bit of Star Wars news. Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka are getting physical releases on 4K later this month. Well, actually in December, I should say, which I'm excited to see. I guess that got a lot.
I'm still waiting for the 8K release.
The 8K? There is no 8K. Either way, I'm probably going to pick those up, especially the Ahsoka. I want to see the behind the scenes of the Ahsoka.
Did you have commentary on those when they released them?
You know what? I haven't checked. I should check and see.
Most of these releases have been very bare bones.
Right.
They'll give you the same deleted scenes that you get on Disney Plus, but it's mostly just the episodes.
They're releasing. What was the Marvel stuff? There was some MCU stuff they're releasing too at the same time.
One thing I miss about having to stream things is the commentary, director's cut, which you do get from like some.
Yeah, they don't really do commentary much anymore.
Yeah,
on DVDs and Blu-rays.
Endgame and like Infinity, you could watch that with commentary on options if you have a digital version of it.
Yeah.
You think they could just do it as a podcast now and release that to promote the movie?
You just gotta like sync it up if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
No, they would time it with it. They would have a little. They would be able to keep a countdown.
Ronald D. Moore used to do it with Battlestar Galactica. Ronald D. Moore did it with Battlestar Galactica. He went through every episode and did a podcast commentary, and he did a counter. You just he did you just simply have a counter as to a countdown to press play. It's really pretty simple to do this.
There are some like Red Leather Media does one. Mr. Sunday Movies does one. I've listened to their commentaries and watched the movies at the same time, and all they do is just like, all right, here's the logo now. Like how we all watch together. We kind of have to sync it.
But you gotta think it's weird that these studios don't just throw these actors in a podcast studio and just have them do that for an hour and a half watching the movie.
It's too expensive for them to justify it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
Time.
Imagine
Unless
how
it's
much
their own
costs.
podcast that they do for themselves.
Yeah, imagine how much it costs to get Scarlett Johansson just in a recording booth to watch her own movie.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's not worth
Yeah.
like the niche people who would actually listen to that.
Yeah.
But you get people who will go on like Conan O'Brien's podcast to promote a movie or something like that, or like
Ryan's podcast.
Well, that's part of their. But that's part of their contract is to do.
I know. I think this would be a different extension of that.
To
the movie is
right.
performing well, and they want to increase the physical.
Much.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I just like looking at what the videos would like, what the studios would actually do. This is probably last on that list, dude. I don't see.
I don't know. I think they spend a lot of money on some dumb advertising methods.
Yeah.
But
like that would be that's too much substance for something that they'd actually try to pull off, you know.
That's the thing is that it'd be much more substance than a lot of these other ones. Like,
yeah, I know, but like the cost of it is maybe a bit too high.
Yeah.
For them to justify that, but I'd love that.
Yeah,
like that'd be awesome. I miss commentary.
Yeah. Well, jumping into Star Wars Skeleton Crew for a little bit here, guys. They dropped a new poster. They dropped a new trailer. I figured we can play the trailer here because
I haven't seen it yet.
Disney have been pretty good to us with not actually putting us up. It's Warner Brothers that tend to kind of like blacklist our not blacklist, but you know, put a copyright thing.
It goes nuts over copyright.
Yeah, but same time, hang on a second, let me get this into that. I figured we may as well watch the trailer here and kind of put our thoughts into this trailer. The Skeleton Crew is based around the same time period as The Mandalorian. I don't think it has any connection directly with Mandalorian, but let's check out the trailer. Hang on a second, I just lost that. And let's get your thoughts, Jason, and we can talk about it. Let's see, we got you put down there. All right.
What are you in for?
Did you guys hear it right?
I got 80s music going.
What are you in for?
I know, it's very well. They're going with that whole 70s vibe for sure.
I found something buried in the woods.
Yeah, that's what they're going for, is that ambulance
Dad.
vibe.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
I feel like there's some too Earth-like elements in the
What do you think it is?
stuff like that.
Don't touch anything.
It's obvious that they find a giant spaceship underground there on that
Like-
planet.
Stranger Things, but
Star Wars.
Pretty much.
exactly.
Yeah.
What did you do? We're lost. Really lost. Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Hey up.
They got a lot of nice practical
Where'd you two
creatures.
find an old Republic credit?
Over here, quick. I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership. But we have to move fast. I need you to take the controls.
Okay. Neil? Neil?
whoa, what? Straight up.
What's that? Yeah.
Is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Something's wrong.
They're not
Yeah.
going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Big Star Wars creatures.
Of booby traps. Pirates. And mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't.
It looks pretty epic,
No matter what.
Awesome.
especially that. Yeah.
What's that big old thing?
That's a giant skull of a
Humanoid?
huh?
That was a skull?
No, it was not a skull.
What's up,
Oh,
everybody?
oh,
Welcome
sorry.
back to the channel.
No.
You know why we're here.
Go away. Remove.
You know
That's the
why
first
we're
time they
here.
ever had
Yep.
like a pop song, like a
Yeah,
legit,
pop
like that's like New Order or something like that. Like in
Yeah,
Star Wars, it's like
From what I've heard, it's in Pachatis. I don't know. What's that?
from a,
Well, at least
what?
the
It's
cover,
Stranger
cover of
Things.
an existing.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely have set up their own kind of music score, kind of 70s, 80s vibe pop music for
It's
this.
going to be a lot of modern, or a lot
Well, it's
of
straight up. It's
music
a straight up
covered
song.
in
That's not like.
hutties
That's
and
That
not
was a
like.
real
Right.
song. That was
Right, but
That's a real
it
song,
was
Brent.
adapted.
It's not like.
Yes, but it was
It's a remix.
adapted.
It's a song.
remix.
It's
yes.
an
Okay.
80s
Yes.
song.
Yes.
It's not. It's
We're
not
not
like
done
the
in
Max
Yes.
Rebo band or anything else. That's like
Right.
a
Yeah.
song.
Yes.
An
Yeah.
80s like.
Yes.
song.
Remix was the word I was trying to find. I got that. I understood that. Yes.
that's
But-
not jizz,
Okay,
ladies
well.
and gentlemen. That's
Yeah.
jazz.
That's jazz. Yeah.
What are they gonna call it?
Um,
New Whiz. It's like the new wave, and
I don't know. I think that
Wars,
might be
like-
getting changed around, but I don't know. I
They
mean, there's
could
a
put
few
New
cool
Order
things.
in there because New Order kind of makes sense in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Right.
right. It would be like new wave at this era of.
No,
What was
be a
that-
bunch of
what was
emo
that
kids
skull?
that love the First Order.
What was that school? Or the skull?
The skull. Actually, I think it was obviously it was a treasure room of some sort. Actually, I'd have to go back and find it, but
Was there Goonies element?
it was definitely a Goonies element. It was a
Goonies
treasure, but the actual skull was actually that of Hondo Onoka's race of a not a Weequay.
Are we getting
I
a
forgot the name.
Hondo in here?
Yeah. I don't think we're getting a Hondo
Aren't
in
they
here.
Weekways? They're not Weekways?
No, Weequay. Wait. What is Honda's
There's a
race?
Q.
Honda. Yeah.
It's that prune face like.
Uh,
dudes from-
Yeah. The race of Hondo Onoka is oh god, why have I forgotten? Comes from Florum. No, I can't remember. It is a Weequay. Yeah, Weequay pirates. Yes, he is a Weequay.
Yeah, that treasure room really looks like a
Yeah,
a dang. Here, let
big
me
set.
share. Can you let me share?
Yeah. Go for it. There you go. All right. Yeah.
It's like Goonies, Indiana Jones. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see the yeah.
Amblin elements here.
Oh, totally. No, that's what they're going for the whole
Yeah, you
shoot.
can see
But you
those,
can see that,
spikes.
yeah, the giant skull. It's got the little Weequay tusks of under the, the same as Hondo.
But it's not an actual skull. It's just like a.
It's not an actual skull, but it's
Olmec statue kind of.
it's a
thing.
treasure room of some sort. An ancient.
They got to put glowing
It's
rocks in the
happening-
eyeballs, in the
Probably.
eye socket, and the nose socket.
Probably.
They're establishing that Weekways are like the pirate race.
Right. Well, yeah, which they have been in the comic books for quite some time there.
Yeah.
Or most of their race. But I don't know. I mean, just a few of the images that popped up over the last week or so. I don't like. Here's the weird thing. I know we've started seeing glasses and spectacles inside of the Star Wars universe, but just these kind of glasses just look a little weird. Rimmed glasses, thick rimmed glasses, just feel.
Complaining
too-
about screws and
Earth-like.
bricks now, Brent.
No. It feels weird to see that in Star Wars when they've always minimalized the look and the style and the design of that. So again, we're gonna see how this plays out.
Glasses?
Apparently,
You're talking about like people wearing glasses.
well, yeah, this is the father of the
Wasn't
kid.
the guy,
and
one
he's-
guy in Mando wearing just normal glasses, like round?
He had very, very, very thin rimmed. So they, yeah,
Very earthly glasses.
that it felt a little weird
Elton
in
John
Mando.
glasses.
Yeah, it felt a little weird there, but this is the father's got these much thicker rimmed glasses.
This is
there,
a
so-
it's a nitpick.
Yeah, it's a nitpick.
Yeah,
but it takes
not many
it does
people
take
me out.
need-
Get me out of the show.
I feel and again I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold all reference to when I see this. I feel like there was elements of a Guardians of the Galaxy retro in this trailer over a Star Wars analog version look
It
in
felt
this
more
trailer.
like Stranger Things and
Yeah.
Goonies in a Star
Yeah.
Wars universe. than
So-
anything
Yeah,
else,
it's
which
Stranger
could be
Things.
fun.
Yeah,
Guardians.
which is obviously the vibe they're going for, and I'm excited to see that. But it just feels again, it's like it's interesting because this time period I always find after the Empire has been destroyed. This Mandalorian time period, they've been exploring within the Mandalorian show these other cultures that have started to thrive beyond what the Empire oppressed them from. So you do get to see a unoppressed world, and that does take you back to Naboo. Back to Naboo when the prequels, when people were complaining that everything there looked too, Art Nouveau-y and stylized. And I guess there is a form of change that has happened after the Empire that is allowing the creative and the design and the architecture of these worlds to go beyond that. So I'm going to take that into my account. Also, just quickly, guys, Neil, the little blue guy, is not part of Max Rebo's race. The showrunners...
Willis?
Nope, the showrunners said this week in an interview, I think it was in an Empire magazine or one of them, they said he is not the same race directly as Max Rebo. He is...
Well, you got that Hooter character in the Captain EO that looks like him.
That's exactly.
He's a little blue guy.
And just going back to this image again, Jason.
Oh, the ears are different.
Yeah. But even Captain EO had that giant head. Didn't they have some sort of a big thing at the end of it that looks similar to that as well?
Well, they had a whole character that was blue that looked like Max Rebo, that looked like that guy, like very similar.
And they've got the little tiny furry creature, which is orange and fluffy hair.
Yeah.
It looks like this is all
the little flying green, orange.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah. And of course, we've also got this guy who popped it up.
He was one of
Mando. In Mando season 3. Yeah.
Wafer.
And
Nectos.
Yeah.
That would be cool if they actually mentioned Captain EO in this. Like had a Captain EO poster on
that would be funny.
Like Connect the universe.
That would be rare.
Yeah.
Establish Captain EO.
Yeah. But if you have a look, there's some
I'm
really...
stoked about this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like they're sticking to an era that looks like everything was designed in the 70s.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Which is like a favorite among original Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Like we like everything that was... It's like you're collecting props from a certain era, a 70s era.
Yeah.
Which is great. I like that.
No, it's
Star Wars I know.
It's going to be fun. This show comes out December 3rd. Oh, the one other thing also they mentioned in an interview was that from the Ewoks and the Battle of Endor, they are actually going to be reviving this character in this show, Teak, who basically was a little tiny speedster creature, which I've always loved. I loved the design of that creature. I thought it was like very doe-eyed, kind of cool creature. Anyway, apparently that race will pop up in this show as well.
So yeah, that's a direct connection to that genre of Star Wars that came out around the time of the originals too. Like
well, we dealt with little kids and stuff like that too, which makes sense.
Which we've been missing from this whole new generation of Star Wars, right? No, nothing like that. I wouldn't count that cartoon as that, but like just kid protagonists.
Yeah. And again, it's kids versus pirates. It's the Goonies. It's going to be that kind of show. So it'll be fun to see how it all plays out. I hold my reservations as to how, whether I'm going to enjoy it or not as much as I've enjoyed something like... I mean, I know some of you guys didn't enjoy Ahsoka as much as I did, but I was definitely attached to the character. This is also probably, with the exception of The Mandalorian, this is probably the first series of the TV shows that we've got where it's totally a new thing. It's its own new entity. There's no spin-offs. There's no characters that have come from another show or passed from another show.
Which I encourage. I think they could totally do that.
From the IP,
I think that's a flex if they're able to do that and be successful.
Yeah. Not to mention they go back to the poster as well. The poster is very similar to the original Star Wars: A New Hope poster as well. There's this element of
we constantly try to get back there. That's why some of like the most successful stuff that we've gotten in the new Disney era has been kind of in proximity to the original trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Some of the strongest ones. So I think
well, if you guys are down, we'll be reacting to that when it comes out, December 3rd.
What are your thoughts on Star Wars Suburbs?
That kind of goes into that whole reservation. That goes
for you.
It feels more Guardians of the Galaxy, actually. As I said, there's a retro that's in Guardians of the Galaxy that's very different than Star Wars, but then there's an analog in Star Wars that feels like it is missing from this. So that part of me, as I said, I have to sit there. I have to sit there and tell myself the main reason I liked the prequel so much was that the design elements that Doug Chiang had brought to it were very similar to the kind of, the Art Nouveau era, the Roaring Twenties style of look and vibe to the architecture, which everybody complained about because they said it looked too clean for Star Wars. Like, well, yeah, because the Empire did what World War II did. It made things mass-produced and run down and broken up, and the only ones who, had the new shit was all the bad guys with the new planes.
No, it made sense. Like, it went from like what the 20s looked like compared to what the 20s looked like.
Yeah. And so
Or
post...
mass-produced methods.
Yeah, correct.
But
yeah. Even the 70s.
That's something that I do appreciate about the style of like the prequels, is that it did show evidence of some type of technological changes that you usually suffer from a lot of these like series of the stagnant tech of Star Wars, kind of like thousands of years pass and they're still using the same shit,
Right. But
like,
they can still
didn't even look that different from current Star Wars that we have now. Like no changes in technology,
Right, but you can still keep and hold on to some of that analog and still create other worlds that are doing, again, like you said, the suburban backyard kind of vibe. The reason why it is suburban, as I said, is you got to stop and think about it. The Empire is no longer controlling these systems, so people have got the chance to flourish. We saw that in The Mandalorian on Navarro. Navarro went from this tiny little broken down town in the first season
mining
to a major flourishing city by the end of the third season.
But it didn't have suburbs. That's the big difference. Is it still?
Oh, shut up, Max.
No, but no, serious, good point.
But
though, like suburbs is one thing that we didn't really ever touch up on in Star Wars, because Star Wars is, by
closed, tight streets usually in design. By design and nature, the streets are tight.
It's very repressed design elements. You wouldn't see a nice driveway.
Let Jason finish. He was right in the middle of saying something. You cut him off. He's getting cut off like this whole time here.
Now he knows what it feels like.
Dude, I stopped doing that like 2 years ago, man.
Go for it, Jason. What were you about to say?
No, Star Wars itself has been it's a dystopia. So suburbs isn't an element of, it's a later, like
thanks
not really one of the things that is portrayed in dystopian kind of worlds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does make sense. What you're saying is like, is this like a Silicon Valley of a place kind of thing? Because the suburbs are an element of a thriving like society,
industry, society. Yeah.
So like they're not living. It's not like an urban life that we see in say Andor, for instance, where
that was also
it's like But yeah, it was like what I'd expect from a world like Star Wars would be like his kind of shoebox apartment that he lives in with his mom. That's the type of stuff
maybe this.
But that was also during the oppression of the Empire, so that was its own set of rules of how
that, like
society looked and felt.
Well, I'm saying that like there's always probably different classes because people are still living it up during the Empire times.
Oh yeah.
Like there were still thriving areas, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, we saw the Canto Bight elements of the sequels. Yeah.
But like a suburb is not a thing that we've seen in Star Wars. Because
we never saw it because Alderaan got blown up before we saw Alderaan.
Yeah.
See, Alderaan was
so Alderaan could have looked like Irvine too.
Yeah, right. Like I'm sure there are suburbs in Alderaan.
Yeah,
sure. It's just none of our protagonists.
We never got to see Alderaan.
None of the protagonists are coming from the suburbs.
Right.
But
technically, wouldn't you? Yeah, but wouldn't you consider Navarro? You see the school where Grogu was kind of set there, and the kids are learning from that droid.
Yeah, but it's very analog.
It's still very analog.
Like a PS, like New York kind of school. Still not a suburb.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
no, you're right. Still not a suburb.
PS1 or something like that. You know, like it's still like kind of city industry heavy. Place.
But it's also the
suburbs yet. Like somewhere where I grew up, portrayed in Star Wars, which totally tapping into the whole Amblin element of like ET,
right?
And then just going like Santa Clarita, dude. in Star Wars,
That's it.
which I'm really excited about. Like, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. Like, I'm excited to see that type of stuff in Star
Oh,
Wars.
yeah.
That's what I get excited about when I see certain elements that we haven't seen before, but they
Sure.
have to exist. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you're right. They have to exist, or that's it. Yeah,
It's like
because
when I got
it
excited
would
when I
get
saw,
it would
like-
get very tired and boring if they kept it the same all the time in every single planet. So.
Yeah, like when I got excited when I saw the droid bar in Mando season 3. Like,
We need
you
more
know
droid
it's
bars.
gotta be a thing.
Yeah.
It's got to be a thing in
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, and it's great
Yeah.
when we see that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. This is the type of stuff I want to see from new Star Wars stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
different elements or like stuff that we know exists, but more fleshes out the world. And yeah, I'm excited about a Star Wars suburb, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been nice.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we might end it there. That was cool. I mean, there's a lot of bits and pieces that dropped this past week, which as I said, with the ending of Agatha and Penguin will end in a few weeks' time. We've got all this stuff coming up, so please keep an eye out. We'll be doing reactions to both Skeleton Crew and What If Season 3. And I don't know. I mean, again, Max wasn't particularly up for this, but I don't know, Jason, if you're down for it. Do you want to do Squid Games at all, Season 2, Elijah? Do you want to react to Squid Games at all or not?
I would like to, but that would be hard because I don't know. Well,
it's on.
Okay.
Netflix?
Yeah, I know Netflix showed it, but the trailer was just showing subtitles and not having it translated this time.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if this.
That would be. I would have to do dubbed myself.
Yeah, because we couldn't be reading it and be trying to, doing a stream at the same time.
But we could do it.
Would be worth.
Yeah.
I think it would be worth to watch an episode, singly, and then go
talk
on
about
together when we can and talk about it. Because we'll miss too much stuff if we're talking about it.
Liz would want to watch.
I don't want to do that when we're all just watching it because I'm going to miss everything. I'd watch it twice.
Yeah.
I'd watch one episode and then watch an episode with you guys. Watch
that
an
makes
episode.
Sense.
Watch with you guys.
Yeah.
Because we can get we can speculate more and we already know what's going on, so we can kind of talk over what's happening.
Yeah, because I very much enjoyed Season 1, and I might even do a recap of Season 1 because I do need to. It's been 2 years since that show came out.
I'm sure Ryan Airy will do a last season thing on.
I'm sure. Yeah, but I do want to just rewatch it myself. There's a lot of little moments and characters and stuff that were kind of important.
That show hit hard, huh? Out of nowhere.
It's great.
Yeah, it did.
I'm excited to see what they do for Season 2, and the trailer for Season 2 dropped too.
They're talking about
back. So
David Fincher wants to do an American version of Squid Game.
What a terrible idea.
I like David Fincher.
I don't know, David Fincher. I like David Fincher. I mean, the movie, The Game, and that type of stuff.
Why does there have to be American version of? Why does there have to be an American version of the show that
Dude, you base your whole like livelihood is based on an American version of something already.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
That's
right.
It was fresh to see something that was not an American.
Let them. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, whatever. Okay. Fair enough.
Did you guys
I guess it's like the American version of the American version of The Office. Apparently, was better than the English version, but apparently not. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it did it was a lot more successful. But I mean, the British one ended. They actually stopped it. But I don't know. What did you guys think of Spike Lee's Old Boy?
Old Boy?
Not as good.
It's not
no same beats though. It's just
Boy.
I think when it's something like that, you just know it's like trying to be something. But whatever. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would think David Fincher would give it a whole different look and a whole different vibe, but still have it be like Squid Game, the game, but in America, like different.
Yeah, you'd have to
like whole.
Yeah. Well, the
concept and look of it would be different, I think.
Yeah, but they did set up the international. They set up the international thing in the first series anyway, in the first season. So
I think it would be. I don't know. I think it would be fun. It's worth a shot. Like it's got
David Fincher doing it. I agree, but like not anybody else.
Yeah.
David Fincher, I think, could pull it off.
Yeah, I'm a David Fincher fan. I really like his stuff.
I'm not particularly, but at the same time, interesting choice. It could.
Brent only-
It would be. It would be in his.
Brent
in his,
wouldn't like Dave.
It would be in
Fincher.
his mindset. Yes. Yeah.
No,
The
but
only
Anyway.
movie you saw was Alien 3.
Yeah, to say he bases his David Fincher's career on Alien 3, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay,
He's
guys.
never seen Eraserhead.
All right, guys. Anyway, we'll
Oh
end it
man,
there.
Brent wouldn't be able to sit 15 minutes through Eraserhead.
Probably not.
But that's
No,
David
no,
Lynch.
no. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
I was either when you were talking.
Yeah.
I was like, what,
Yeah.
Mac?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like David
The
Lynch.
brain was
Anyway,
elsewhere.
that's whatever. Okay, guys. Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed this reaction, please like, subscribe, and we shall. This reaction? Well, I'll chat. Whatever. I don't know. You know what we're talking about. All right, guys. We'll catch you later.
Follow
Thanks
us.
for
Get
joining
your
us.
friends to follow us. We need to get to 1,000. Come on, do it.
We're close.
Yeah. And then,
I
you know,
know.
we'll be
Tell
able
your
to,
friends
like,
and family.
eventually,
We've ended.
you know, pick another.
Oh wait, no, we haven't ended.
No,
We
it's
haven't
okay.
ended. I thought we ended.
Stop.
Wait.